Thank you, Madam Chairman. Congratulations. As the chairman of this Energy Committee, I look forward to working with you as well as Ranking Member Cantwell on a variety of important legislative measures for our country. And I'm particularly pleased that we're starting out with approval of the Keystone Pipeline project. The legislation that we're marking up is legislation that I developed some time ago and have had a variety of co-sponsors and many co-sponsors. Right now, the lead co-sponsor on the Democrat side of the aisle is the Senator from the great state of West Virginia, Senator Manchin. And I want to thank him for his leadership and for his bipartisanship. I truly appreciate it. And for our other sponsors on the legislation, we have 60 sponsors on the legislation. So it truly is bipartisan. And it's an effort not only to approve some important energy infrastructure, it really is an effort to have an open amendment process on the Senate floor where we can get back to regular order, and all of the senators can offer their amendments on the floor. We can debate them and have a vote, and if you can get 60 votes, it gets added to the legislation. So whether it's the good senator from Oregon who just laid down the gauntlet against my good friend from Ohio, or anyone else, you know, let's go to the floor. Let's have that debate on this legislation, and then let's, you know, approve the best bill that we can and move this project forward. It's interesting to listen to some of the discussion that's already been put forward about how, why are we taking up this measure rather than just letting it continue to go through the process? Well, it's gone through the process for 6 years. For 6 years, and it's still not through the process. Americans won World War II in a shorter amount of time. And to hear about how gas prices are lower now. How do you think that happened? It happened because we're producing more oil and gas in this country in places like North Dakota, and the Bakken, and Eagle Ford in Texas, and with the help of our best friend and ally in the world, Canada. Oil that's produced there. And so as we increase supply, simple economics says that more supply helps bring down prices. So every consumer is benefiting at the pump to the tune of billions of dollars. But you know what? We've got to get that gas, that oil, from where it's produced to where it's consumed. How are you going to do that? To do that, you need energy infrastructure. And you need the right mix of energy infrastructure. You need pipelines, rail, roads for electricity transmission. And that's part of our job, isn't it? Making sure that we create a business climate where entrepreneurs and companies can invest and build that infrastructure that we need to get this energy to market. And as others have already rightly said, every consumer then benefits. And energy is a foundational industry. We not only create jobs and economic growth and national security as we produce more energy here at home and work with Canada to have North American energy security, but it's a foundational industry that benefits every other industry because lower energy costs make our country more competitive in a global economy where we have to compete. And it's so important that we develop that energy here at home, that we develop it with Canada, so that we don't have to buy energy from places like OPEC. Look what's going on in the world. And to think that gas and oil prices are lower because OPEC gave us a Christmas present, well, that's just wrong. That's not the case. We're producing it here, but we can't keep producing it here if we don't have the infrastructure to do it. That is part of building the right kind of comprehensive energy plan for our country, and that's what this bill is all about. It's just common sense. The most recent poll I've seen shows that the American public supports this project by about 68%. I think that's the most recent poll. So almost 70% of the American people wants this done. After 6 years, after more than 6 years, TransCanada originally filed this application in September of 2008. A lot of us weren't even here then. 6 years. And we're talking about rushing something? How are we going to have a functioning economy for this nation? How does America continue to be the greatest place in the world to do business? How do we, have that rising tide that lifts all boats? How do we foster entrepreneurship and the ingenuity of America if we're holding up our business people for 6 years and saying somehow that's rushing the process? What's going on? What happened to doing business in America? So when we say, well, this is just one project, it's a case in point. It's one project. But it's part of, are we going to build the infrastructure we need to truly have North American energy security? It's also a test case to see if we can come together on the Senate floor, offer amendments in open process, have debates, vote, and find bipartisanship, and get something done for the American people. And they're watching. And I want to thank again all of the co-sponsors on this bill, particularly starting with Senator Manchin. It's not always easy to step up and lead, but he's somebody that does that in a bipartisan way. I just want to say I really appreciate and respect everybody that's joined us in this endeavor. And I hope we can mark this up, take it to the floor, and have that debate. So let's do that. I mean, everybody's got their point. Make your point. But let's get the bill to the floor, let's have that debate on the floor, and let's get the important work of this Congress started. Let's debate, let's vote, let's get it done.